Hey, it's Monday and we're back. Welcome everyone to another week of the Disney Morning Show starring Kyle Burbank,
Hello.
featuring Doobie Mosley. Hello. I'm the co-founder here at Laughing Place. Kyle is the true star, the managing editor, and we are here to talk Disney with you. It's a busy weekend, busy Friday, busy week coming up, so we've got a lot to get to. Let's get to. We're going to start the way we do every day, and that is with a look at Doobie trying to find the video for this. The disc stock price, $95.74, still somewhat flirting with 100. The Mendoza line that it's not that that's its current Mendoza line, but it is, and it's below it, down a little bit from on the day, but still holding up from the kind of push it got when the interest rates dropped. So there we go. There is the stock price.
Happy new fiscal year, Doobie.
Oh, that's just tomorrow, right?
No, well, apparently it's the Saturday before whatever's closest to the 30th. So it was on Saturday.
Oh, so we're actually in
Mr. I got technically by Benji because I had a fun idea for a stream that now you're not going to see because he technically me.
All right. So it actually has to happen on a Saturday so that
they probably have to close because nothing's happening. Yeah.
And then for us, it would always be a Monday.
Even though on the reports, it still says the 30th and the 1st. That seems illegal to me. I don't know how things work.
So we're in a new fiscal year. Technically, as far as Disney goes, we are now in 2025.
Yeah.
Okay. He's back.
Good morning and welcome back to another LP Disney Weather Report. I know a guy who's tough but sweet. He's so fine, he can't be beat. He's got everything that I desire. Sets the summer sun on fire. I want candy. I want candy. Go to see him when the sun goes down. Ain't no finer boy in town. You're my guy, you're what the doctor ordered. So sweet, you make my mouth water. I want candy. I want candy. Let's get to the weather. Anaheim will reach 84 today but will mostly be in the 70s after dusk. Walt Disney World will hit a high of 92 today. While there's a low-end chance of rain in the evening, showers will likely hold off until late tonight. Castaway Cay will once again be around 85 all day and night. Plus, Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point will basically fit that same template. Disneyland Paris is experiencing showers this evening and is cool with temps in the neighborhood of the low 60s to upper 50s. Tokyo will be rainy tomorrow, with showers starting in the morning and lingering through the evening. This will keep the high down to 76. Shanghai will also see showers in the morning, but should clear after noon. They'll see temps in the mid-70s for most of the day. Finally, Hong Kong will be partly cloudy today and break into the low 90s temperature-wise. And that will do it for another Disney Weather Report. Have a great day and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.
I'm a little surprised he didn't hold that one for Halloween.
Yeah, and even though it's a 60s song, he was of course doing the Bow Wow Wow rendition.
That's a remake?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Just thought it was yet another 80s song. Oh, wow. Yes, he was doing the Bow Wow. That was an easy one to figure out. All right, moving right along. Thank you, Ethan. And, of course, our thoughts are with everyone around the country, especially North Carolina. We have some friends in North Carolina, LPers who thankfully are not in the path, but a lot of people are really struggling out there right now. So go take a look. If you want to contribute, there's lots of places you can, and hopefully lots of missing people get found and lots of stranded people get rescued, because even though the hurricane passed through last week, it is still quite nasty out there for a lot of people. All right, moving on. We had some big news drop. Did this actually drop during our show or right after our show? We did talk about the
drop is an interesting word, because when things happen without notice and you kind of have to just like sift through the things to see what happened. But yeah, Hailey's on it. One of several pieces of content that you can no longer watch on Disney Plus.
So Disney Plus, quite a while ago, back when Chapek was still here, just did a massive dump of shows. They're not on here anymore. Some shows.
Was it when Chapek was still on?
Wasn't he still here? Was it? It wasn't towards the end of him? I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
I feel like it might have been under Iger.
Okay.
Like Iger's been back for quite a while now. We kind of forget that.
Yeah. Okay, so it was Iger saying Chapek messed up, and here's how
I think they were trying to get to profitability after that bad earnings report. I could be wrong, but I feel like it was under Iger.
If anyone from LP is watching would like to get some confirmation, I would love it. But otherwise, Kyle's probably right. They dropped a lot of shows off Disney Plus, and I'm not even going to go into it, but it is an effort to make the financials look better that they do this. And last week, just before the close of the fiscal year we just talked about, they seem to have done it again. So what are some of the things we lost, Kyle?
Well, Hailey's on It is one, which was a Disney Channel show that they hadn't announced that they canceled. People were wondering if there'd be a second season. This does not seem like a good sign for that prospect. And then the other stuff, honestly, a lot of it's stuff probably people haven't heard of because it's a lot of Nat Geo specials and one-offs. But then also this other Disney Channel show called Saturdays. And the movie Togo, which was surprising to me because it survived that first round of purging. So the fact that it now got removed is just kind of odd to me.
And am I correct that Jeff Jenkins was another casualty?
Jeff Jenkins, one of the Nat Geo series that was removed, yeah.
Yeah, which I'm a personal fan of because I got to interview him in New Orleans back before the show debuted, and just hearing his enthusiasm and everything. It's kind of sad because these shows in general are just, they're gone. It's not like you can go watch them somewhere else. You can buy them. They're just gone.
Yeah, I mean, something that aired on Disney Channel might exist somewhere else. But yeah, the one like Togo, which was created for Disney Plus, I don't, unless, we did see some Disney, like we talked about on the anniversary
Right.
last week about some of the movies that were removed and ended up getting standalone digital releases. I guess that's possible with these other things, but we'll see.
Some of the other stuff: Rewind the 90s, Man, Woman, Dog, Farm Dreams, Home in the Wild, Locked Up Abroad, which I happen to be a fan of, and now I'm sad. Genius, MLKX, Never Say Never with Jeff Jenkins, Wicked Tuna. So this is what we've been able to learn.
Not Wicked Tuna.
But, there's no press release or anything put out. So this is really just done by scouring the internet.
It's very popular. So I imagine that's one that they're licensing out. I feel like that one might be a little bit different, but I don't know for sure.
Pretty freaking scary, which I hadn't heard of, which is probably part of the problem. I've been derelict here. Let's say some hellos. I want to say hello, Nikki B, Gio, Fred Ramirez. Nice to see you. Bloom, who apparently has news, but he hasn't told me what it is yet. All right, cool. So that was that really is sad news. Every one of these, what's weird is every one of these shows is somebody's favorite show, and it's just gone now, and that's it. And that's sad. But we did get some happier news this morning coming out of Disneyland Paris. This is the Marvel thing, Kyle, so it's on you.
So we knew they announced back in April, back when they did a big press release, that they were going to be doing some sort of activation with Doctor Strange and Wanda. Now we got some concept art for it and a few more details. So this is going to be, it sounds like it'll be on top of the Web Brigade building. So kind of one of those shows that they do on top of the roof. But you can see it's going to have both of them, some projections, potentially some pyrotechnics and special effects. And this is going to be, I think, starting in November.
November 23rd.
Right.
I'm sorry?
Does it go through January, did they say?
Oh, good question. Find out together. January 7th.
Cool.
Yeah. And staying in Paris, because Paris had a lot of news this morning, we have some concept art for their nighttime show that is coming in January. Do we have a name for this?
There might be. And I think this is also the first time they're going to have the projections down Main Street and everything, kind of like Disneyland does. So that's a big part of this, but should be a lovely show.
It will feature Pinocchio, Beauty and the Beast, and Encanto. Toy Story debuts January 10th, and it does not have a name as of right now. So if you have a suggestion, this is some incredible concept art. Send an email to ihaveathought@disneylandparis.com and let them know what you think this show should be called, and I'm sure they will.
I also want to point out that I was surprised this morning when the Parks blog put out a thing about Disneyland Paris Halloween. I'm like, well, that's weird. Why are they putting this out a month after it started? It doesn't start till tomorrow. They don't start their Halloween till October 1st, like normal people.
I was talking to a French person once, looking at how crazy Americans go for Halloween. They're like, I don't get this. It is not like this in Europe. In Europe, it is just a day for the kids. And I'm like, that makes sense, until I realized they probably feel the same way about Disneyland. All right, let's see. Let me try to get this thing paused. I think I did. All right.
You'll never be able to get a TikTok right.
Sticking with Paris, Oh, see, all I wanted you to do was unpause.
Anyway, with
no, it's working. It's working.
Okay.
When you're kind and you believe you win in Wonderland, this will go you can achieve. When your spirit soars, the world can become yours. Here in Wonderland, welcome to Wonderland.
I forget. Did you see this or did you skip this?
So the group went to see this. Gideon and I tore away so we could do Cars Road Trip.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I couldn't remember which order happened.
Yes.
But yeah, so this is going to be going away for a while. It'll be back next year, but obviously they got a lot of holiday content coming up, so it's paused.
That being the Alice and Queen of Hearts Back to Wonderland, which
Yep.
is a different kind of show. And one of the people who did go to the show, every time we see him, does say, "I made the wrong decision. I should have done that. Cars Road Trip."
Whereas our own Jeremiah loved it.
I'll leave that to me. Congratulations, Bloom. You told us that on Trivia Saturday.
A lot of people do like it.
It has groupies. I mean, it is one of those shows where when you like it, you love it, you see it a lot. So, all right, we're not done with Paris yet because we also found out a new Italian restaurant is going to be opening in 2026. Not tomorrow, but I presume this is, I don't know if this is fiscal or calendar, probably calendar. In 2026, this restaurant.
I think most people speak in, although when you get OLC press releases, sometimes they'll speak in fiscal terms because they're in that. So you have to like look up when their fiscal year is.
So confusing. This is called Casa Giulia. Giula?
I don't know.
Okay. This replaces Planet Hollywood in the Disney Village, which closed in January, so they took their time. And part of the reason I had to do this was because our own Edith Gallison, who doesn't write for us too often, but when she does, it is of Paris, did an article a while ago on the closing and history of Planet Hollywood and Disneyland Paris, which I thought was pretty cool. So feel free to
It's very prominent. It's right there at like the start of the Disney Village area next to the World of Disney that they have there. So
yeah, and I'm sure I took pictures of the area when we were there, and I just didn't have time to go look, unfortunately.
They used to have a bunch of different stars on the side, and then they just kept falling. So I think by the time it was done, you maybe had like a couple of Jonas Brothers and the cast of Twilight.
All right, sticking with new news that just dropped this morning.
New news.
No good news is good news. The Disney Treasure, which sets sail soon, has its maiden voyage in December. So perhaps preview voyage and stuff before. Oh, Rebecca enjoyed the Alice show. Sorry, I missed that earlier. And I enjoyed Cars Road Trip.
No, you didn't.
I mean, I enjoyed it. It's not good. I would have been sad if I didn't see it.
You enjoyed 90 seconds of it.
It's so bad.
It's really bad.
It's really bad.
It's the biggest tease of a ride I've ever been on.
Why would you describe it as that?
Because they have I thought that when they showed you these billboards for upcoming attractions, I didn't expect you to go through all of them, but I thought there'd be some sort of effect or whatever to kind of justify it. And instead it's just wow, look at this billboard for this thing. And that's really it. You don't see any attractions except for Cars Catastrophe Canyon.
Yes, where they torture a sentient 18-wheeler. Yeah. Okay, so the Disney Treasure, as I said, maiden voyage right over Christmas, coming up soon. You know what that means? Merchandise. So they're previewing
short sleeves because it's December.
they have a Spirit jersey in there.
They have one Spirit jersey, and as you can see, they went all out with the designing of this, where they put the name of the ship across the shirt, and that's it.
Also using it looks like that same teal they used for their 25th anniversary sailings too. So, nevertheless, they've got merchandise. You'll probably hear more about this tomorrow on the.
The hat's kind of fun. It actually looks like a journalist cap.
You'll hear more about this tomorrow on Barely Necessities, the merchandise show tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific time. But yeah, and I want to know, were these pictures taken on the Treasure, or did they just go?
I highly doubt that they flew these models out to wherever it is in Germany to take these. I think they just put the word Disney Treasure on the screen behind them on the Wish or something else.
Disney Treasure on the screen. Now I'm trying to find any place in the picture where it gives away that they're not actually on the treasure, but I don't find any. Okay. He likes the
Funnel looks the same on everything.
We got a new trailer this morning for Elton John. The Disney
Not a
Plus.
new poster. I'll let you know there's not a new poster.
I looked. So Elton John, Never Too Late is a documentary / concert film coming to Disney Plus. I'm trying to see when, December 13th, which is 6 weeks away.
Mm-hmm.
Dropped in a trailer from that. We're not going to watch.
I was
a little
believe
bit
if
of it.
you have got enough ambition, you can make it anywhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elton John.
Disney legend Elton John.
I hope a lot of that makes it into this. I was hearing a story. Was it Elton John? Yeah, about how he really had to fight to keep "Can You Hear the Love Tonight" in Lion King. They wanted to take it out, and he's the one that really fought for it.
I thought that they wanted, like, he was upset that they were going to give it mostly to Pumbaa and Timon, and he didn't like that.
So the question I saw, because it was an interview with him, and the interviewer said it that way, and then he said, "Well, actually, da 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 da." So I don't know if he's told different stories over the years, different things. Who knows? But that's what I heard literally last night. Wow, you never guess this. Scrolling TikTok.
Wow.
Is this the concert where Chapek was at?
I think this leads up to Dodger Stadium. I don't know if Chapek actually made it there. I've read the latest account that was written by James Stewart and Book Barnes. Is that who it was? I don't know. For the New York Times, said that Chapek was getting ready when he got the call. So I don't know if he actually ever made it to the show. But I will say you can read a review of this movie on our site as well, because Bill got to see it at the Toronto International Film Festival.
This day, Chapek. PTSD whenever Elton John comes on. All right. Star-Lord made his debut at Epcot this past.
Or his return. So I gave the whole thing about the lore last time, and then in the article we mentioned that there was like I didn't know that they did the dance off and stuff at Epcot. So maybe this really is a return of the character, but he's a meet and greet now. I did like that we noted that there was a long queue built for him, and maybe not a long queue of people at the time that we met him. But you can meet this knockoff Star-Lord. Face characters are hard sometimes.
Or you could just introduce it as Star-Lord. You can meet this knockoff Star-Lord. Face characters are hard. Let's let him speak for himself for 17 seconds.
What you want to see? How's it going? Star-Lord. People call me Peter Quill. If you're looking to join the Guardians of the Galaxy, I would say that you need courage or superpowers, but honestly, it's all about the dancing. So show me your best dance moves and come on out.
We got one more.
Cut a promo, but not that kind of promo.
We got one more.
What's up, dude? You challenging me to a dance-off or something? I don't think you can take it. Come on, let's see what you got.
Got one move.
Take it back. Thank you. See, there's my audience.
Maybe there's not a line because people think that it's a cosplayer, because it's like, if not their best. That's all I'm saying.
Which just says nothing about him. He looks how he looks, right? This isn't a comment.
Well, no, but
about
also, again, he sounds how he sounds. It's just.
Wow. All right. Well, if you want to go see Peter Quill, Star-Lord at Epcot, apparently there's no line, and you'll be disappointed.
I didn't say there's no line. There was whenever we might have gone to a press preview for all I know, but they did have a big queue set up.
Okay. You know where there is a line, Kyle, or at least there was. Disney Springs.
Yes, a virtual line and a real line.
But a lot of people went to see, what was this again, Kyle? Do you remember what it was called?
This is for the Pleasing pop-up. So Pleasing is a company apparently owned or endorsed or something with involving Harry Styles, who was not there. But they're releasing a new Fantasia collection. And before it comes to Shop Disney on October 4th, there's a few pop-ups around the world, actually. And one of them is at Disney Springs. And Doobie, you probably read the article, but if you didn't read the article, how much would you think that crew neck shirt was? The crew neck sweatshirt in the last.
Let's see this one here.
Yes, on the left.
I mean, it's a nice sweatshirt, Disney pricing, licensing, maybe about $85.
105. You're actually not that far off.
Oh, okay. Good.
And I think that the hoodie on the right, I think that one's like in the realm of 195 or something like that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
So some
apparently
pricey stuff here. And there was a virtual queue. I think Jeremiah ended up waiting 5 hours in total just to go and buy this expensive merchandise. It's probably calmed down, but it will come down. I think this is supposed to go through the end of October. So it should be a bit easier to get in if you want pricey stuff. But like I said, it's also going to be available on Disney Store soon. And I think I said Shop Disney earlier. I meant Disney Store.
Yes, the end of October. It is nice to have a use for the NBA building. And Geo, with the line of the day in the clubhouse, that pricing is not pleasing to me.
You'd have to have NBA salary to afford it.
And finally, the last item on our top stories and happening now. Disney Wish is now available in acoustic guitar format, which is just really beautiful. And I just want to just listen to a tad bit of it. Let's see. This is one of my favorites. I love that. Go check that out. What's it called? It's called Disney Guitar: Wish. This is from Spotify, but I'm sure it's available on all the streaming services. I use YouTube Music. I get nothing for saying that, but I'm very happy that I do. All right. That concludes the top stories and happening now. We will now transition to reviews. Do we have an introduction for reviews?
And I've had my share of bad reviews. I still remember my first good one, though. Everything else in this production of Our Town was simply terrible. Joey Tribbiani was abysmal.
Much better than the one I did. That was good. That was good, Joey Tribbiani. All right, who's a really smart guy? Not a walk. All right, our first review is Disney Plus: The Last Days of Space. Disney Plus: Last Days of Space Age showcases a silver.
Sliver.
Kyle, you want to read this title for me?
Review: Disney Plus's Last Days of the Space Age showcases a sliver of Australian history with a deft hand.
All right, and the concluding paragraph, which says it all. Last Days of the Space Age not only represents a turning point in Australia, it also is a turning point in television. Can a show like this succeed? Will it be able to find an audience outside of its home country? Will this help further prove period pieces and familial dramas have a place in our current entertainment landscape? Based on what I've seen of this series so far, I hope the answer to all of these is a resounding yes. Premiered on Disney Plus October 2nd. See it while you can. Who knows when it's going away? Really an interesting story. You read the synopsis for this, which I probably should have prepared. Different original take on stuff, and that's always fun to see. It is set in Perth, Australia, in 1979, where multiple world events converge in a single year. The local power strike, blackout as the Miss Universe pageant made its way to Western Australia, and the crash site of Skylab. So, really, I think I might want to check that out. Jill says there's a lot of Disney guitar albums, but do they all have Wish on them? Wish is awesome. All right, that review, by the way, was by our resident reviewer these days. Marshall Knight. So is this next one.
It's almost like it was a slow weekend and we had time to do reviews.
All right, so this one is from Witches: The Truth Behind the Trials. This is a documentary. And Nat Geo's Witches: Truth Behind the Trials delivers information matter-of-factly. You know what's nice is we have subheads now, so that really goes with the introduction. This 6-part documentary series follows the trials and tribulations of those deemed witches around the world. And his conclusion. Overall, Witches: The Truth Behind the Trials delivers the correct information for those who are seeking out facts about these tumultuous times. Yet for a casual viewer, there's nothing to keep you engaged. Mind you, I'm not saying use the craft as your basis for a comprehensive knowledge about witchcraft, but there's bound to be more engaging documentary filmmaking on the subject elsewhere. Premieres September 29th, 9 p.m. on Nat Geo, and streams the next day on Hulu and Disney+. Less than resounding praise for Witches: The Truth Behind the Trials. And finally, we have a review from Marshall Knight.
Oh, wow.
from the new ABC show, Dr. Odyssey. Did you watch this by any chance?
No.
We watched about half of it, not because we necessarily hated it. We just kind of got bored and moved on with our life. Something else we would rather have seen.
Did you get bored when people are dying every half a second?
Which is, pretty much sounds like every cruise I've ever been on. All right, review. Dr. Odyssey promises pristine waters and soapy drama. I like this review from Marshall for a particular reason, which I will read now. Funnily enough, I've worked on cruise ships in the past. I myself have witnessed firsthand the way people completely change by walking through the gangway and onto their floating home. Yet early on in the series premiere, Tristan gives Dr. Bankham a tour of the ship and tells him the ultimate cruise secret. She belongs to us. This ship, this life, it's ours. We just let them try it on for a week. Truer words have never been spoken. The same goes for the viewers of Doc Odyssey. The wild plot lines, the steamy relationships, and pristine aesthetics. Try it on for a week. It's not yours to hold on to for life, but while you're here, be sure to savor it. Thursdays, 9 p.m., ABC. Next day on Hulu. We have one resounding yes, one resounding no, and one maybe not. Kind of up to you. Thank you, Marshall Knight. All right, it is time for
And the rest.
quick hits of other Disney news. We have 2 new spooky novel items coming to Disneyland Resort this week. Kyle, which is your choice?
Hold on a second.
So we've got the Scary Teddy popcorn bucket, inspired by Nightmare Before Christmas, coming October 3rd.
I'd go with the straw and clip.
Madame Leota straw clip, also coming October 3rd.
It's cheaper and somehow more practical. It's not practical at all, and yet somehow.
I do like at least this popcorn bucket. I mean, it has a unique way of doing the popcorn. You can see it right there in his mouth, and that's more effort than most popcorn buckets give. We've got Not Spooky Farm tweets. Mike Celestino was at Not Spooky Farm yesterday, I believe, and tweeted from there. So if you want to see what it's like, this is not Scary Farm. This is the daytime event, very family friendly. He kind of tweeted his experience there pretty extensively. So go check that out. Looks like he had a lot of fun. That is on our X account. And if you are going to Star Wars Celebration or thinking about it next April, hotel bookings are now available. It takes place like April 18th through 20th, 2025. So there are certain hotels which are kind of associated with the celebration you can book. And then starting in December, you can book packages with the Disney resort hotels, Tokyo Disney Resort hotels with Star Wars Celebration. Let's see, I probably should have put this back with the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, but if you have Amazon Echo Dot and you want to make it look like Jack Skellington, you can. This is now available on Shop Disney for a price of, I'm sorry, not available. It's available on October 8th for $40. Does not include the dot. It's just a shell for your dot for $40.
Halloween on October 8th. That's way too late.
That's way too late. That's 2 months too late. Dick Vitale, everyone's favorite basketball announcer, is being inducted.
We write about him more than like Freeform. Like he should have his own landing page instead of Freeform at this point.
He is being inducted into the, get it right, Broadcasting and Cable Hall of Fame. So congratulations, Dick Vitale. He's struggled with some health struggles lately, health challenges, I think cancer, if I'm not mistaken, and he's doing better, not doing better, doing better. But hopefully he is doing well, and congratulations to him. Not only is he the most iconic college basketball announcer of all time, everyone who has worked with him and knows him saying he is one of the kindest, most giving people in the world. So very happy for him. And all the work he does, of course, with the Jimmy V Foundation as well. There's the late Jim Vellano. Congratulations, Dick Vitale. Let's see, another quick hit. Disney Visa. If you have a Disney Visa, this is both debit and credit card, right, Kyle? You're the finance guy.
I think this is just I don't know if they offer this for the debit. I know that this is for the credit card. There's 2 different versions of the credit card. There's the no annual fee and the annual fee one.
So this is the Disney Visa Rewards newest card design. So that's probably just the credit card, right? And this is the new look for it. If you're interested, you can do a new card, or you can change out your existing card for this cute new look. Let's see.
Not a favorite. They have
like it?
ones. It's okay. There's just cooler ones.
And at New York Comic Con, October 17th through 20th, which is soon, very soon, there is going to be a panel on the creation of Epic Universe at Universal Studios Florida, which is probably the biggest thing in the world of theme parks coming next year. So I expect that to be a pretty exciting panel. Hopefully someone from LP will be there. I'm not sure. Busy schedule.
We usually are. The person that I thought was going is not going, though, so I don't know.
All right, that concludes the rest. Do we have a bumper yet for Around LP?
No.
Okay, so this is the Around LP section where we take a quick look at just some of the interesting things happening around Laughing Place. And I noticed that Bill Gausel has done an article on so he's been doing a Touchstone and Beyond series for Laughing Place for a while.
Like 5 years now, he said.
Goodness. So where he just looks at all those Touchstone movies that have been released.
And Hollywood. So yeah, he's been doing it for 5 years. Every Sunday you can catch it. He does a different one. And he just completed his latest year. So he's looking back at the past 12 months and he shared some of his highlights and lowlights.
So his top 5 and bottom 5 that he watched this past year, the top 5 being Bringing Out the Dead, Bicentennial Man, Step Up, 25th Hour, and Real Steel. Only one of those I've seen is none of them, so I have no argument with those. But his bottom 5 is what has me concerned. So he has The Fifth Estate, Runaway Bride, Playing God, I Am Number 4, and When a Man Loves a Woman. I've seen more of the bottom 5 than top 5, which is very sad. When a Man Loves a Woman is a great movie. It is the story of it stars Meg Ryan and Andy Garcia, and Meg Ryan plays an alcoholic, Andy Garcia plays a pilot, and it's her trying to go through rehab and save their family and all of that. And it is a great movie with one of the greatest pop song usages ever. Not When a Man Loves a Woman. That would make sense. No, it's REM's Everybody Hurts. That scene where they play that, that's such a scene. So don't listen to Bill. Go watch When a Man Loves a Woman and then tell him why he's wrong. Right. Do we have a fun stuff bumper?
We do.
Fun.
This show is ridiculous.
It's really funny. All right, back to Marshall. So I was reading an article that Marshall did this weekend called Disney Plus's Continue Watching is a Digital Monstrosity. And I've come to the conclusion that somewhere along the way, we hired Andy Rudy to be on Laughing Place. I doubt Marshall even knows who Andy Rudy is. But so he is complaining because Continue Watching on Disney Plus, unlike many other streaming services, Continue Watching this actually, you go to Disney Plus, it shows you the stuff you've been watching, so you can just pick up where you left off in case you forgot. Oh yeah, I was watching Amazon on Disney Plus. I forgot. So he is complaining that unlike other streaming services, you can't remove something from Continue Watching. So whenever he goes, he sees that, oh yeah, I never did finish The Mandalorian, or I was just trying to find something really quick in Ratatouille. I have no intention of watching the whole thing again. And it just builds and builds, taunting you, especially the stuff that you never got back to watching again. And he just wants to say, no, I'm done with this. Get out of here. Get out of here. And it bothers him enough that he wrote an article on it. And so I thought that was fun.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's a bunch of problems I have with Disney Plus. Most of them like algorithmic. Just the fact that I'm like, why isn't this designed for me? Why are you serving the exact same layout to every person with the same parental setting? My biggest issue with, I think Disney Plus has this, I'm not 100%, but way too many streaming services do. When you're halfway through a show and you want to, but you maybe watched it 6 months ago and you're like, I don't remember, I just want to watch it now from scratch. It's not always easy to just play from the beginning. Sometimes you have to play it and rewind. And or if I click the thing from the homepage and then I'm like, oh no, I don't want to go to this episode, hitting back takes me back to my homepage instead of the show landing page, which is what I really want. Gio does not like the nagging emails. Continue watching it. That's annoying. I agree. Hey, you know too much. I get emails from that. I get them from Netflix. Like, don't forget to keep watching Community. I'm like, I've watched the show like 5 times. Like, don't worry, I'm gonna come back to it. And they don't have that anymore. It's on Peacock now. But yeah, I don't know if he meant Disney Plus, because I don't know from Disney Plus either, but I definitely know it from Netflix. All right, we have no pocket picks today because it's a busy day, but we do have a
On this day, all right, I can do it better. On this day, 40 years ago, the year was. You know what? I'm gonna go back to trivia for this one a little bit.
Okay. Okay. You should
You haven't seen, right?
hide the thing. It takes place in Iowa in 1984.
Yeah. Don't look at the rest of that. Oh, it's covered up at the top. Okay. You know what the first Touchstone movie was, right?
Splash.
Yes. Well, on this day in 1984, 40 years ago, the second Touchstone movie was released. What was it called? Starring Jessica Lange, Sam Shepard, and Wilford Brimley.
I don't know, but it takes place in Iowa in 1984.
It is called Country.
Okay, never would have gotten that.
Yeah, me either. And then I looked at like the third and the fourth, and none of them were anything memorable.
But I worked with Jessica Lange, so do I get credit for that?
What did you work with her on?
That would be American Horror Story Asylum. She was the nun, and I was in the insane asylum, and she was
Is American Horror Story the only show you've been in that there's no way you would ever watch it?
For different reasons, I guess not. But that's I wouldn't watch that.
I want to find your scene though.
Oh, I've seen scenes. I'll send you my favorite, which is a scene that I have watched, and that is they did the name game, and you can see me dancing in my straitjacket.
Do you have a compilation reel on YouTube?
I never bothered to make one. I also didn't know where to get the clips. I probably could now that there are streaming services, but
I want to see a compilation reel of Kyle. We need that.
Have I told you the story of why I got the straitjacket?
No.
So they'd give you more money. So I would always volunteer to do it. And the longer that I was in it, the more money I would get. And then also, like, they were very big about, like, they'd say, remember your damage. And like, they'd want you to like keep acting crazy anytime the camera was on. And so I didn't want to have to work that hard. So by being the straitjacket, it limited my options. So I could just sit there and kind of like rock, and that would be good enough.
Work less and make more money. Kyle Burbank in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Like, what was I doing with my arms anyway?
That's pretty funny.
They would listen to in between takes if it was going to be a while.
On this day, that was very kind of them. On this day, 30 years ago, 1994, Interventions debuted at Epcot. It was Communicore before, you may recall, and it became Interventions on. I'm saying on this day. I'm doing Sunday and Monday today. So sorry, Country and Interventions was actually yesterday. Interventions at Epcot. Gio said he started watching Tomorrowland months ago, and then they sent me a few emails to reminding me to finish watch it. They just sent me another a few days ago.
Maybe because they're going to remove it. And so they're like, really, dude, if you want to see this, you better get on it.
Right. On this day in 1999, 25 years ago, everyone's favorite addition to Epcot, the Wand and 2000 was added for Millennium Celebration. Don't worry, folks. It's only temporary. This was 25 years ago. And
it was temporary. It was just very long temporary.
Yeah, well, they kept this, and then they just had the wand.
That's a good question. When does something go from temporary to permanent, even if it's not like around forever?
I feel like if you announce a closing period, it's permanent. It's temporary. But if you haven't, if you just say, oh, this is temporary, but you haven't actually said when it's going to be closing, even given any indication, then no, it's actually permanent. They're just waiting.
But not even in like a theme park, like just in general.
Give me an example.
I don't know. It's like this is a permanent change. Does that mean that it really is forever, or does permanent just mean like longer than limited?
So there's no real distinction between temporary and permanent, because nothing is ever permanent, and temporary can go on for a long, long time. So we're not permanently alive. Wow.
Getting real deep on this show. This is what you come to expect. You expect New Kids bumpers followed by existential crises.
Mouse Gear opening date. That would make sense. According to my quick Google search, it opened on September 20th. Now, I don't know if that was the official opening or what. It's a good question, Gio. We were there for the Millennium Celebration. Laughing Place was in the early days. And yes, they did have an opening media event where a lot of the stuff opened officially, but that had soft opened before. So if it was, I'm sorry, it wasn't in my source.
Do you have a favorite Epcot Innovations experience?
I personally liked, is this the one? No, not Where's the Fire. the one that simulated a hurricane. I can't remember what it's called right now. What was it?
Stormstruck.
Stormstruck, yes. Just because my son loved it so much, even though he was terrified of it, we just go there and play in the stuff and then watch people. So I have a big soft spot.
What was the Great Penny Adventure? Is that what it was called? Something like that? Okay.
The Velcro one also cracked me up. What did you
The
like?
show with like Comedy Warehouse people? The hook and
Yes.
hook and loop. Yeah.
Did you have a favorite?
I didn't go enough, honestly, but
Obviously, Son of All Thrills.
I'm more
was a favorite.
familiar with Disneyland's awful version. Back when you could actually like there was like 5 different stations, and then there were like 1 or 2 that they might run, and then it was over.
I never did Son of All Thrills. Did you ever do that one?
No.
That was the big.
I probably
thing
would have
there.
been fine on that because you could customize it. Just like I've done I did virtual Space Mountain on Disney Quest.
Not Penny's boat. Oh, the Great Piggy Bank Adventure. Thank you, Lukey. Lukey looks really familiar. If you want to see more of Lukey, tune into our show tomorrow, where he will be joining us to talk about his recent adventures in Tokyo Disneyland. Do you remember building plastic robots? I don't remember building plastic robots. I also liked the what was it? It was UL listed. So underwriting laboratories where you could just like bangs, they had it enclosed in protective plastic, and you just bang stuff against each other, and really loud and cool.
The last one I did was the Colortopia, the Gildan thing. And that actually, like that effect inside of the room itself with the Ty Burrell thing was actually kind of fun.
They also had Segway there. You could just take a little Segway ride back before they became
a long time ago. I did that at Innovations at Disneyland.
Oh, okay. They had some sort of a driving simulator thing. No, I miss Innovations. What replaced it?
Nothing. No. What is there? I guess there's the meet and greets.
Communicore Plaza.
Meet and well, yeah, the meet and greets area.
Yeah. Someone tell me exactly what replaced Innovations so I can be angry at it, because Innovations was kind of fun. All right, we're moving on to today now, September 30th. On this day in 2009, 15 years ago, we had the debut of one of the most popular sitcoms in the history of ABC, at least recently. Fan, first of all, were you ever on it, Kyle?
I was not on the middle. I don't think I was on the other one. No. Well, there's 2 shows that I kind of get confused. There's the middle, and then Raising Hope. I was on Raising Hope. I wasn't on the middle, I don't think.
This was the middle, starring Patricia Heaton.
I was on ABC's Suburgatory, which was on at the same time, but for a much shorter window.
I like that show quite a bit. Susan Heck, the daughter there.
Susu.
Name, I don't remember her real name, but she has a very good TikTok if you want to have some fun following
She's
her.
also the voice of, her name is Eden something, right?
I don't remember. I'm going to find out.
She's the voice of Star versus the Forces of Evil, too.
She has a lot of stories from the show, as well as...
Last week we were talking about Modern Family having a spinoff that didn't go forward. This also had a spinoff that didn't go forward. It was supposed to be Susu in the City.
Oh, I think she actually talked about that. Eat and Share, SHER. Yeah, I think she talks about that on her TikTok quite a bit. Yeah, Suburgatory was fun. Did not get with it there. All right, and finally we have one more on this day. On this day in 2019, 5 years ago, we had the final performance of the greatest show in the history of certainly Epcot, maybe Disney World, and that was Illumination's Reflections of Earth. What an incredible show this was.
It's really boring in the middle. I can't get over that.
You have no... I'm not even going to go there.
If you can see it, like those high-tech projections really got me. I could see everything that was happening, for sure.
From here, you could say, okay, yeah, this is kind of boring in the middle, but there's cool stuff happening, and the music alone is just amazing.
Okay.
And I really can't believe this is only 5 years ago that this closed. I mean, is that right?
It's gone through like 3 shows since then.
Exactly. We've had Epcot Forever, Harmonious, and what do we have now? Luminous?
Well, Epcot Forever was announced to be, by our definition, a temporary replacement.
And it ran longer than Harmonious.
Harmonious. And then back to Epcot forever, and then what's there now? Luminous.
That's crazy. All right, Kyle, take a quick look. Anything happening?
Let me take a look. I have a DM. I figured that was going to be the case, Luke. I was like, I bet you Luke doesn't know that he's going to be on the show tomorrow, and sure enough, he does not. Now he does.
Are you working? Are you on the schedule? You're always heavily called up. That's a rule here. If you're on the schedule, that's appropriately. You never know when you're going to be
Being
called
on the
up.
schedule is the morning show Farm Club.
Yeah, we have a couple of small items. Disney's Enchanted Christmas returning to Disneyland Paris November 9th, and some events at Disney Springs this October. We will probably talk about those on Disney Parks Talk Live this afternoon at 4 p.m. Pacific, and we'll certainly hit on them on tomorrow's show as well. But I think nothing major enough, sorry, for me to bring up here. So took a long time for it to grow on you, but it did. You guys are crazy. All right. So thank you for joining us. We will be back tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. I do not remember those robots, Rebecca. That par for the course, maybe. 9:30 Pacific. Tomorrow we'll be doing this again. We're going to have Luke joining us to talk about his trip to Tokyo. Again, 4 p.m. Pacific. We've got Disney Parks Talk Live today. And I think that's it for the day. Thanks for joining us. Have a fantastic Monday. Hope you have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow. What's your problem? I'm still live. What's your problem?
You're fantastic week. It's Monday. You're trying to tease me?